Good afternoon. This is Mike Farley with Poolside Perspective Podcast, and we've got another great episode for you today.
Yes, we do.
And we've had a busy week, so lots of stuff going on.
Oh, yeah.
You're going on vacation. So,
I am.
So you're going to leave me and go to Cabo and,
Yes, sir.
put your feet in the sand. So hope you have fun with that.
Yeah, I'm excited. I got to explore the world.
Yes.
Got to do it when I'm young.
Well, you got to, look at all those pools down there, doing research, right?
Yeah, I'm excited to see the tile pools. I'm sure I'm going to see a couple of those. So I'm very eager to see that.
Yeah. Well, we've had a lot going on this week, so
Yeah.
it's an exercise in all the things we talk about. So we've dealt with everything from what this week.
I mean, we've had a couple photo shoots. We had a couple pools shot, that being Gunite, or was it Shotcrete? I can't remember off the top of my head.
They were both Shotcrete.
Yeah,
yes.
both Shotcrete. And then we had plaster finishes also done. Two of those jobs, or at least one, you remove the pool and then
blew it up.
Yeah, you blew it up completely because you don't like remodels. You rather just start from a fresh canvas, which is what he did. And then another pool, he actually buried a pool and then created a new oasis in a different location on the same lot.
Yeah.
So that's kind of interesting.
Well, we pulled it out. We filled the hole in. So
Yes.
so we didn't leave it there.
No.
That makes for some interesting stories when you go into old pieces of property like the one you were on today.
Yeah.
And people find pool shells underneath the ground. That's another story for another day. But
yes, it is.
Today we're going to talk about some fun stuff with that has to do with the outdoor living at its highest point, and that's with Ledge, formerly known as Ledge Lounger, but a great product line that has created lots of, I think, diversified the whole pool industry.
Yeah, it's definitely like when it comes to the pool industry and we're doing a job, it's definitely, the sprinkles on a cake. But it's even more than that. It's like the sugar in a smoothie. It brings the project to life. And you would think, oh, it's just a furniture company. They just do ledge loungers because obviously those are very iconic. You see them everywhere. They've been around for so long. And then going to these pool shows, you see all the other companies that are trying to get into that market. But Ledge Lounger is such ahead of the market. But they've got some creative stuff out there. So what do you think is your favorite item?
Well, I think that I've got quite a few.
Oh yeah, me too. It's a long list. It's hard to pick a favorite.
Yeah, we'll discuss a lot of them today, but I guess we
Okay.
should get Alexis on here and talk to her.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Alexis brings 2 decades of experience in the pool industry. With the past 11 years dedicated to her role at Ledge Lounger, her journey began with the collaboration of one of Houston's prominent builders, where she honed her skills and crafted comprehensive backyard experiences encompassing everything from hardscape to furniture design. Having been part of Ledge Lounger since its inception, Alexis has witnessed its remarkable growth and evolution firsthand. She's had the pleasure to work with designers and builders across the country. Beyond her professional commitments, she has actively contributed to the industry's advancement through her volunteer work on the board of the PHTA and advocating for water safety initiatives. Personally, Alexis is pursuing her certification as a yoga instructor and extending her love for the outdoors to her leisure activities, where she can be found often paddleboarding, boating, and finding inspiration from her latest decor projects for a new home in New Brunswick. So let's talk to Alexis. We're really thankful that you got on because I know you've been doing a lot of different things in life right at the moment with moving into the new home and everything like that. But we've looked forward to having you on the podcast and talking about all the things that Ledge. Now, so do you all go by Ledge or Ledge Lounger or all the above?
All of the above. So the brand itself was Ledge Loungers, and as we evolved and grown the brand to be more than just the chase and in-pool furniture, we are evolving into Ledge.
Okay.
So it's a slow evolution. Essentially, our end goal is to get to where it's just Ledge.
Awesome. Well, I can attest to, I've been designing spaces and swimming pools for about 35 years. And the top step, which we call the ledge, is something that when I first started doing it 35 years ago, people would be like, well, the baby's going to grow up and I don't know if anybody else will use this space after the baby grows up. And I'm like, I promise you this will be a very popular space in your pool because it's going to be real diversified, and people would fight me over it. And, I'd be able to get, like a 4x6 area maybe in the pool for that space. And when we designed my pool, I put in a very large space. I've got a 10x10 area in my pool, and my pool was done about 20 years ago. And that was before your furniture existed. And so how long ago was it that Chris actually came out with the first chair?
It was 13 years ago.
13 years ago.
Wow.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's amazing to me. I attribute your company for changing the function of swimming pools, and the fact that I honestly, I think more people today want to use their pool to hang out in and visit with their friends and relax and unwind than the word swim doesn't come up. I mean, people aren't using the pool to swim in. They're using the pool as a place to gather and to live in. And so now it's not uncommon that I have 2 ledges in a pool, and that they're of significant size because the parents want their spot and they're going to have another spot for the kids in a different spot, and they don't want to share the spots. So it's been an interesting journey. So it would be really interesting to, I know a lot of people, because you in your bio, you mentioned you were there at the beginning. So could you explain how your journey kind of started?
Yeah. So I've been in the pool industry like literally right out of high school. And I was working for this incredible builder in the Houston area where we did so much more than just build swimming pools. Like part of our name was Total Backyard Solutions. And at the time, that was like unheard of, where a pool company did more than just build swimming pools. So I was actually working, doing volunteer work for the PHTA, and I knew Chris really well because we both worked on the board together. But funny story, I was working at the office, and one day Chris comes in the office with this weird plastic chair in his hands, and he's like fumbling around with it and walking through the door. And I'm like, Chris, what are you doing here? And what is that? And so it was just crazy to like see it fast forward to today. But yeah, that was like the beginning. He was literally bringing this chair around trying to get interest from pool builders. He had a vision. So kind of long story short, and then Chris Anderson, our founder, he was designing swimming pools down in Clear Lake for his dad. Throughout his life, he has always been in the pool industry, but his love was in the design aspect. And with that being said, he was designing these swimming pools, and tanning ledges were really on the cusp of becoming popular. Like that's kind of when we were seeing that evolution of a beach entry turn into tanning ledges in that shallow space. And at the time, people were pulling metal chairs or wicker chairs and putting it in that space. And as you know, the plaster can be the most expensive part of the pool. And metal chairs, what do? They rust.
Just like
and
crazy.
rust and plaster like don't go together. You're going to have staining and all sorts of problems in the future. So Chris went combing the market, trying to find fulfill a need for this customer. And he found a chair. Gosh, I think he found it was $3,500. It was made out of fiberglass, and it had like this film that you had to like replace every year because it just didn't last, and you had to take it in and out of the pool every day. And he just decided there had to be a better way. And that's kind of how it all began. He decided to work with a slide manufacturer, and the slide manufacturer was building like commercial water slides. And he's like, this is the material, because the material has been used in the industry for decades. And he kind of already knew that it would hold up in that environment. Because as you know, the pool environment is the harshest environment known to man. You have chemicals, salt, the weather, acts of God. So it's just really trying to make sure that the product could be in that space without having the nuance of having to take it in and out. So that was a long story short.
Oh, I've heard a lot
But yeah,
more
I mean,
details over the years.
yeah, there's more details. There's a lot more behind that, but it's a super cool story. I know Chris is really loved the brand so much and really tried to focus in on the innovation and design and aesthetics are key parts of our entire brand and who we are.
I think it's interesting that you said that Ledge Lounger kind of started this living in your pool space aspect. And since 2020, since COVID, I mean, I've heard from countless people in the industry that COVID changed the industry forever and it's never going to go back. People want everything from the inside of their house outside. But in a way, Chris kind of pioneered that to be possible, if you think about it, because you're taking something like a bed that you can lay down in and putting it in the pool. When did y'all kind of vague off from just the ledge and go into other furniture and everything else that you're doing now?
So I mean, like the first couple of years of the business, the focus was just our signature chase. And then as it grew, like we were looking for accessories. So I think the side table was the first item that came about, and then headrest pillows. And then what happened is we had customers asking for ways to shade their face. So Chris came up with this ingenious like shade structure that attaches to the chase that covers it. In part of doing so, he had to buy a CNC machine to basically make the arms for the shade.
Okay.
And when we started playing with the shade arms and like that material that we had purchased for that machine, that's when we really had lift off and we really realized there's so much opportunity of things that we can manipulate and make using that machine and that product and that material. So it had to been like 5 years in when we really started to see patio furniture come about. It's super funny, like how our design works and our product development team. So back in the very beginning, we used to make our prototypes like out of wood. And Bob Anderson, Chris's dad, would actually come in and he would help our development team, which literally was like one person at the time. But he would make these chairs, and I'll never forget like our coming out with our signature chair. And I don't know if you've ever sat in it, but he came up with 10 different designs of it. And it was funny. There was literally maybe 5 or 6 of us that worked there at the time. And we would go from seat to seat to seat with all the different prototypes to make sure he perfected it. But the amount of detail that goes into every design and just making sure not only is it aesthetically beautiful, but is it comfortable? But yeah, so the prototype started with wood. And if you fast forward to today, it's crazy. I don't know, Mike, did I take you back to our product development?
Yeah.
Where you got to see, we bought one of the largest 3D printers on the market so that we could 3D print our prototypes just to make sure they're perfect. Because just a little bit about how they're manufactured, we use a molding process. So all the chairs are hollow and made out of these molds, but the molds can cost hundreds of thousands of dollars. So before we get to that point of creating a mold, we want to make sure it's perfect. So we created the 3D prints now, but back in the day, it was just wood. But yeah, so 5 years into it is really when we started to have liftoff and growing the brand significantly outside of the chase.
Okay.
So the shade, I think the shade is really cool.
It's awesome.
Because I want to sit there and read a book.
Yep.
And, you know, if you haven't sat in a chair with a shade on it, there's a book holder or a phone holder underneath it.
Yeah.
And so that's really cool. But it's only made for the signature chair, right?
The signature chase,
Yes.
has the pocket for the viewing window where you can put your iPad. But the signature chair has a shade, but it does not have the viewing window. But if you can imagine you're sitting more upright, like looking up is kind of awkward.
Yeah.
So
Okay. So that makes a little sense. Why? Because it's not on the autograph. It's only on the signature. So one other question, since I went down this rabbit hole already. So there's two different heights for the signature chair, right? You can get one that's set up
Yep.
for deeper water.
yeah.
And is it from a height standpoint similar to the autograph chair? I was just curious if those were.
No, they're actually all different. So obviously, like our home is here in Texas, and most tanning ledges are more on the shallow side,
Right.
being under 9 inches of water. So our signature chase and signature chair fill that need really well. But when we started working more outside of the state of Texas and really working with our customers up in the Northeast and, California, we found that, not only were tanning ledges called different things, but they were at different depths.
Yeah. Baja
So
shelf is what.
Baja shelves, Shamu shelves, which I never understood that one, but
Oh, that one got me in a lot. I used to call it a Shamu shelf. I got to tell this story.
Yeah. What is that?
so yeah,
So-
so
I have no idea what that is.
So Shamu was the
whale.
the whale,
Yeah.
right? And
Yeah.
it was right down the road from us where we lived in California.
Okay.
So my wife goes on an appointment with me, and she didn't hardly ever do this. And she was in an appointment with me, and I was talking to the lady about the Shamu shelf. And anyway, after we left, Laura's like, "I can't believe you called it that." And I was like, "What do you mean?" And she said, "You just insinuated to that lady she was a beached whale."
Oh my gosh.
And I was like, oh my, I didn't ever think about that. So I never used that term again, because we call them tanning ledges. We called them out in California when I was first starting this 35 years ago. It was a tanning ledge. It was a Baja shelf. It was a Shamu shelf. No one had there was a lot of different names for it. So anyway, people got the idea, but Marine World was right down the road. So everybody knew Shamu there in Northern California. But yeah, I quit using that because I thought, wow, that was kind of harsh of me. Anyway.
yeah, that's funny. Yeah, so we that's when the Chase Deep kind of evolved, and the Chase Deep we designed to work in really that second step, which is more common in those areas, but I guess freezing is a tendency up in those regions, but also we created like risers. So we did find like people had deeper than 15 inches of water. We started coming up with designing these things to kind of lift the chairs up a little bit so that they weren't sitting. The autograph collection came about, and really it kind of allowed us to kind of rewrite what we've done. And when we tension and a lot of design elements, we really kind of focused in on feedback that we got from our signature collection over the first 10 years of the company and really put it into that autograph collection. So what we did is we raised the seat to allow it. It also made it so it was easier to get in and out of.
Right.
I
like
but
that.
also we had a lot of customers that were requested to not be so submerged.
Yes.
So it kind of allows the seat to be up a little bit.
That
Yeah.
makes sense a lot because I like to tan with my girlfriend. And so if I'm in the water and she's trying to tan her legs or something, you're going to get the water hitting the tanning oil, causes issues. So when you're lifted a little bit above the water, helps a little bit if you're trying to get that, that nice golden tan. That's my logic, at least. I don't know.
everybody has their own logic.
Oh yeah.
And their own preferences. And the cool thing is now you have lots of different chairs
Variety.
to fit different needs in different parts of the country and different depths. I mean, it's amazing. So, what would you say is your most popular product?
Oh gosh, for sure our signature chase. I think that's our claim to fame. That's what everybody knows us for. I mean, that's if you go to a resort, a hotel, a cruise ship, that's what you're going to see.
Okay.
And it's just iconic.
Yeah. And I look in, hotel brochures all over the world, and you see they always show the pool, right? And there's also chairs on all the pools.
Yeah.
So Moses came with me and Trey when we went down to your showroom, and Moses had a question for you. One of his questions was, what's the largest amount of signature chairs on one project?
Oh, wow.
I think that number has changed, or like that answer has changed, and I couldn't tell you because there's so many projects that have a lot of them.
Right.
I think to date, it has to be a Hard Rock in Tampa.
Okay.
There's probably 120 chases there.
Wow.
So quite a few.
That's a couple.
That's quite a few.
Yeah.
So
it's quite a few.
Is the most iconic color white still?
Yeah, I would say probably 70% of our sales are white.
Okay.
But as you can imagine, like when you're dealing with water chemistry, I would say probably the safest bet is white, simply because the most common thing that we see is that pH and alkalinity tends to cause scaling, and scaling, as you know, tends to be white. So when it adheres to the chase itself, which can happen if you don't balance the water properly, you'll see that scaling, and it's more apparent on darker colors. But white for sure always is probably, believe it or not, with people think white, it's going to get dirty really easily. And it's actually not the case at all. It's actually probably the easiest to keep clean.
Interesting. I hadn't thought about that.
Yeah.
So this one color, it's slightly off white. Is it bone?
It's called Cloud.
Cloud. So I've used Cloud on several projects lately, and it really looks good. I like it a lot. So anyway, but I can see that white would be very beneficial. So, okay.
We intentionally designed Cloud around travertine.
Oh, well, that would make sense since this was in a project that had a bunch of limestone, so would blend very well with that. So anyway, Trey asked a question. You were asking about recycle.
Oh yeah. What products of yours? Because I know you use recycled materials on some of the resins. Which ones were those?
It's primarily the wood grain.
Okay.
So I have a different stance on recycled plastic. I've actually heard some of your podcasts before, speaking on the positive aspects of recycled plastics, and I have a different view.
Okay.
We try to make all of our products out of a virgin resin, which is more of a pure resin. And for a couple of reasons. Number one, we found that recycled plastic doesn't last nearly as long. So your footprint really is a lot bigger than if you bought it in virgin. Yeah. So the virgin resin allows a couple of things. Number one, it's solid through and through. The color will not fade. Additionally, you can clean it with like pressure washer. You can use any chemical on it. It won't discolor it. But more in I know in Dallas, you may not have to deal with this too much, but we get a lot of moisture here in South Texas. And what happens is that moisture tends to seep into the pores of that recycled plastic. And what happens is you get mildewing happen. And that mildewing can cause black spots throughout the product itself. And then you go to clean it, and what's the first thing that you would do to clean it? Probably pressure wash it. And you go to pressure wash it, those pores will open up, and that will cause splintering. Oh. And that splintering can just cause, I don't know, it doesn't look right. More so up in the north when you have moisture that freezes, and that moisture will seep into those pores that will actually cause that splintering as well. So with that, also the we're able to use less fasteners. So in lieu of having like hundreds of fasteners holding together an Adirondack, we're able to do that with less than 12 and a lot of slip and notch design, kind of like Legos.
Okay.
So aesthetically pleasing too. So instead of having like a ton of screw holes, you'll just have a few, and we do an incredible job of tucking them all underneath. So to the naked eye, you don't see them. Again, back into the aesthetics of the chair itself and just making sure it's beautiful
Yeah, that's a big theme that
and
y'all.
not taking away the eye.
Yeah, that's a big theme that y'all do that very well. Where y'all have a simple, sleek look that's just very clean. Y'all do that very well. Well, I didn't realize y'all could do full body cushions on what is it? The Autograph, I believe.
Signature, yeah.
Yeah. That's So is that on both, or is that just a signature?
Just signature.
Okay.
So Autograph, we strategically kind of like left a lot of the accessories. We really wanted to kind of cause a differentiation between the two different collections. Autographs more to like design high end, and then the signatures for your everyday user and resort and hotel. But the cushion definitely does add a layer of comfort. But all of our in-pool seats have the pillow option, the headrest pillow.
Yeah.
And there's little features like the pocket for your cell phone on the headrest pillow that we really try to call out to give it that functionality.
Since you brought up the pillow, that takes me down the rabbit hole of fabrics. So you have a few. Okay. So
A few hundred.
A few hundred.
Wow.
So I don't think this is something that people understand that's available to them. Is you can customize, your pillows and your umbrellas and those things that the fabrics worked into. And there's lots and lots of options that a person can choose from or work with a designer on. If you're working with like an interior designer or something like that, they have a lot of things to look at. So how do they find out about all those fabrics that are available?
There's a couple ways. We have a resource on our website, a materials guide where you can easily peruse a lot of the options. But for the most part, we use Sunbrella fabrics. So really anything and everything that Sunbrella offers, you have the ability to use. Yeah. We really like our cushions specifically, like when you're talking about headrest pillows, umbrellas, we really encourage our customers to use. There you go. That's
Lots of fabric.
literally like 10% of what we have available.
Oh, wow. This
That's
is
only
only
10.
10%. Okay. So
Yeah.
you weren't exaggerating when you said hundreds.
Yeah.
Awesome.
What I was saying is marine grade fabric is the most superior fabric on the market. So we go in like for our cushions, umbrellas, headrest pillows. We highly encourage that marine grade fabric simply because a couple of things. Number one, it is completely water resistant. So like a heavy rainstorm, like it just poured here. And I can go outside, brush the water off my cushion, off my sectional or whatnot, and then sit down and have peace of mind that that water didn't go through that cushion and soak into the cushion itself. Number two, it's completely has a 10-year warranty against fading. And number three, like it is a more dense material. It's not nearly as supple and soft as like a Sunbrella furniture grade fabric. But as you can imagine, like being in the outdoors and when you're in the pool and you're sweating and like just life is happening, like probably the last thing like you're worried about is like a soft, supple couch that you like sink into and are engulfed by. So
Is it easy to
I think
clean?
that longevity piece, oh, super easy. Yeah, I have a mainstay sectional in my backyard, and come once a season, I get Clorox cleanup. I douse it down, spray it, get a high pressure hose, spray down the cushions, and then voila, we're ready to start the season. The material itself is the same material that they use on boat bimneys, which a lot of people are familiar with boats, but also you've been to Starbucks before, I'm sure, or at least passed by one. And all of their umbrellas and all of their awnings, they use the same exact fabric, which I guarantee you or I test you to like try to see if you ever find one that's faded,
Right.
because it's not. They last forever.
That's awesome. So,
Mm-hmm.
and then the same goes for your umbrellas too. You have you can match the fabrics up with the pillows and the umbrellas and create, the setting and colors that you want. Or you could even
Yep.
have different ones from different seasons. So you could rotate out your pillows and umbrellas, seasonally.
Yeah.
So
I always encourage our customers to use more neutral tones on their cushions, because unlike other manufacturers, most furniture manufacturers use like a furniture grade fabric, which may last a season, 2 seasons max, where we're saying like 5 to 10 years for your cushion life. And then using pops of color with your throw pillows or like fun patterns,
right. Now,
and using like the furniture grade fabric for those aspects.
your resins come in a lot of different colors too. And so
Mm-hmm.
so what's now I've got a box of samples here and this is bright red. So what does this go on? Do you make chairs out of this color?
Those little blocks, those are in pool resin. I mean, patio resin.
Patio resin.
So anything and everything that we make that goes on the patio.
Okay.
That could be games, patio furniture.
Okay. So this isn't the stuff that goes in the water. This is the stuff that goes on the patio.
So you have a red ping pong table somewhere?
We do.
That's awesome.
That's one of your favorite products, right?
Yeah, that's my favorite product by far.
The ping pong table.
Yeah, when we visited in Houston, it was just, I was blown away about how simple, like the design is so detailed, where the cup holders fold out, and just being able to, you could probably use that for a dining table, I'd imagine. You just take it down and it's so cool.
It was designed to be a dining table as well, right?
Yeah. Okay. That's what.
So you just take the net off and you have the benches on the
And
side.
that pops up.
It's a pretty cool. You can have Thanksgiving dinner and then beat your mother-in-law in ping pong at the same time.
Yeah.
Our family's real into ping pong and I'm very bad. So anyway,
Me too.
I don't.
Or beer pong.
Yeah, there you go.
I'm better at that.
So
I'm not very good at ping pong. It's not my sport.
So we talked about what's popular. So a couple of things I asked a bunch of people and they had some different answers than what the thing that 3 of them came up with, actually all of them came up with, is they all love your bar stool.
Yeah.
They all think that's really cool feature, which again, I don't think a lot of people are familiar. I know they see your chair and the lounge, everything, but the bar stool, how long has that been out?
4 years, 3 years. I don't know. Time flies when you're having fun, right?
Right.
I think it's 3 or 4 years.
Yeah. So Kevin, who can't be here today because his voice is still in bad shape with his cancer treatments, but he loves to sit at it, not necessarily in the pool, but just to sit around on it. He enjoys having it in the outdoor space. And then he said, if you want to, then you can put it in the pool and fill it up with water. Moses even did a TikTok video on how to fill it up with water and everything. So he loves it. Nick loves it as well. But they all really like that. I didn't realize that it came in 2 different heights. I always thought it was just the 42, but you have it available at 42 and was it 30?
30. Yeah. And that's the water depth, the ideal water depth. The seat itself for the 42 is right at 30 inches, and the seat at the 30 inches, like right at 18 and a half.
Okay. So
yeah,
that's a really cool product. And one thing, again, Moses brought this up. He said that he has people all the time that think that when you put this in the pool, then it stays there and it's not movable. Do a lot of people think that that's the case, that these are fixed in place, your furniture, or is that just kind of
I don't know. Like I haven't heard that. And it was funny. I was at the Claffey office yesterday, or was it yesterday? Yeah, I talked to Moses, and he told me that, and I was like, that's an interesting perspective. But I can see that because I don't know, it could look permanent if it's the same color of the plaster.
Well, when we do our 3D videos, I've had a lot of people think that they're permanent. We're going to put those in there, and because again, going way back about 15 years ago, I had a client that went on vacation down in Mexico and came back, and he's like, "I want a ledge with these 2 chairs built in place, covered in tile," and I was like, "But that's going to really waste a lot of space in your pool." And I said, "How do you know exactly?" And so we actually literally took him out in a lawn chair and set different levels so we could find the one that he wanted. And it was funny, him and his wife got in a fight about it. And so they ended up putting 3 in, 2 at one level, and then the other one was more upright. And they were fixed into place, and they were gunite in, and they were tiled in the whole 9 yards. So, you'd have to tear, the whole thing out and redo the finish of the pool to even move them. So I think that's what a lot of people may be thinking of, because a long time ago, that's what they used to have in resorts, and all that stuff.
Right.
Like that. So anyway, but
I guess I can see that. And it's funny, when we sell them for like the Royal Caribbean, they actually fill them with concrete.
Oh, wow.
So they don't want them to move.
No.
Yeah.
Wow.
Because as you can imagine, like the boat shifts.
Right.
And they don't want the chairs to move.
Or some person that's had too much beer pong messing around with a chair. Throwing it overboard.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, that could be bad. So, but wow, concrete, that's definitely not going to go anywhere. So are there other popular products that, come to mind that some people may not be aware of?
I have a question real quick, and it's about one of y'all's items that I don't really know much about. We did a photo shoot on a job and had a daybed. And I remembered y'all had a daybed at y'all's facility in Houston. Can you tell me about that product a little bit?
Yeah, so we actually have 3 different daybed options. So I'm not sure which one you're talking about, but I'm assuming the one with the walls.
Yes.
So the shift daybed, we designed to be kind of like the showstopper, like the focal point of the backyard space. It's like 7 by 7, but it has a cushion and has 3 sidewalls, and there's each of those sidewalls. You're able, not each, but you can pick different designs. So we have 7 different designs available for the sidewall options to really kind of make it your own. Obviously, there's lots of resin colors to choose from. And then it has a mesh option on the top. So that mesh will filter the sun. But it gives you a little bit of privacy. And then the cushions themselves are completely functional, where you can adjust them to be completely reclined or more upright. And then it comes with this cute little cocktail tables. Make sure you don't spill your drinks.
Oh, yeah. Is those cushions, are they marine gray, just like the rest of your pillows and everything like that? That's awesome.
I have 3 favorite products I just want to mention. So we haven't talked about. So one, I really love the autographed chair and the lines that it has on it. It's a really cool look. It fits with a lot of the design styles that people are looking at today. But I'm a traditionalist. I like a rocking chair, and I didn't realize y'all had one until not too long ago. And I think that's a really fun product. So that's a real cool one. And then the Lay's pillow, I think is awesome. So our dog doesn't want us to use it because they want to use it floating in the pool, which is kind of funny. But it's a very nice product. So y'all came out with that, about 3 years ago?
It was the Lace pillow came out right at the beginning of COVID. That was kind of a weird time. We were not sure what was going to happen with the industry. not knowing that it was going to do quite the opposite. We wanted to come up with something that we knew that would get us through a weird, crazy time. But fast forward, like we were selling out of Lay's pillows within minutes of them being online. And they were dubbed the Cadillac of pool floats by Pool Magazine, but they're designed out of a Umbrella fabric and they have like a mesh insert on the inside with styrofoam beads. But it really, we curated them out of these fun fabrics to really kind of add a whole new element and really kind of bring luxury to pool floats. And that line has grown. We now have like a hammock, which is a more portable version. And just most recently, like in April, we launched our Noodle and Doodle, which are a noodle version, and then like a kind of a stubby, more of a bolster size piece. The Lay's, we call it the Lay's Craze, has been super good to us. I love the Lay's pillows for the simple fact that you can take that outside bag and throw it in the washer and clean it. At home, like we used them in the pool in the summer months, and come winter, we'll wash that bag and clean it and then put it in the game room and the kids use it just to kind of lounge around.
Yeah, it's better than a beanbag chair.
Yeah, for sure.
Trey, you've got some cool favorites as well, but they're a little bit different than mine.
Yeah, one we didn't mention yet was the new basketball hoop. I really like the fact that you have the ball, you have a place for the ball to go to. So I remember growing up and we would have a ball just deflated, and sometimes you wouldn't even be able to find the ball. So the fact that you can just put the ball with the hoop is such a simple but genius idea. So I love that product. You actually gave me one of the basketballs at the pool show, and I still use it with my dog when I play with him. So it's awesome. Like, great ideas. They always seem so simple. It's like, oh, why didn't I think of that? How did y'all think of just putting a spot for the basketball goal and then also keeping it so sleek looking?
Honestly, a lot of design work went into the basketball. It's been a dream of ours for years to come up with a basketball goal. Our number one focus in launching one is when we looked at the market, they were all very clunky and quite honestly, just not very attractive. And anything and everything that we design, we're very into aesthetics and how the shapes and the curves and how everything works together, and giving you those nice little treats of functionality, but also just making it aesthetically pleasing. So the ball function, like of the little holder with the little nub to make sure that ball doesn't move. When we were testing products, that seemed to be something that was missing. So we wanted to make sure we included a feature for you to store that ball.
The ball holds up very well because my dog is very aggressive with it.
You've come out with several new products lately. The basketball goal came out just recently, but you came out with, wasn't it a swim up bar? I don't know the name of it. So it's like
party pad.
The party pad. So it has like a cooler and an umbrella holder and a bar. Is that all the combination? Is that correct?
Yeah.
Okay. So
yep. I call it the Swiss Army knife of the pool space.
There you go. You got it all.
Yeah.
Got your shade, you got your drinks, and you got a place to hang out with friends. And then you can put the bar stools with it as well, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It's functional in a sense that you can put it on the edge of the coping. You can put it in the tanning ledge. You can put it like on your deck for your boat. Like, it's really versatile that you can take it anywhere. One of the coolest features I feel are the little removable bins. Like, the bins allow you to take them inside, fill them with ice and drinks, and refresh your beverages without lugging the entire thing or bringing the ice and the drinks to the party pad.
And it's got a setup for an umbrella.
Mm-hmm.
So does that take your standard 1.5-inch umbrella, or you guys have a 2-inch pole for bigger ones as well, right?
Yep. It can do either.
Oh, can do both. Okay, that's cool. So
Mhm.
shade is becoming a bigger and bigger things. In fact, I joke all the time, and I said, we don't build tanning ledges anymore because nobody wants to sit on them and tan except for Trey and Amanda. Yeah, almost everybody's like, give me a place to sit, but I want to sit in the shade. And so, umbrellas have become a bigger and bigger part of the design process for the ledge, and the fact that I want to sit there in the shade. And you have two umbrellas that I know that you have umbrellas that have an 1.5-inch pole and also that have a 2-inch pole. The other thing is you have a lot of different canopies that can be done on those respectively. And we've already mentioned there's hundreds of colors that you can look at, which is really cool. But I don't think a lot of people know about, you have what's called, I looked it up just now in the catalog because I can remember the name of it, the Ultra and the Pinnacle umbrellas. Can you explain how those work?
So those are cantilever umbrellas.
Yeah, cantilever.
So those.
That was the word I was looking for and couldn't think
Mhm.
of. Okay.
So the cantilever umbrella really allows you to have flexible shade in a large space. So they're typically from 9 to 13 feet in diameter. But the cool feature is, number one, they're 75-mile-an-hour wind rated, so they can withstand some pretty substantial wind. But secondly, like they're rotational, like 360 degrees. So you can move them so they can rotate and get you shade wherever you need. So you could have shade over your spa or your dining table or your deck chases. And the cool thing is like the mounting system. So you can mount it in the deck. So it's completely flush and you don't have like a chunky like base. Or you can have like a removable base where you have the flexibility to take it and put it wherever you want.
Okay.
And then it has like a cute little cover. So in a chance there is some rainstorms or high winds, you can cover it and keep it safe.
Gotcha. No, those are really nice. It's getting more and more difficult in a lot of yards because of building setbacks and smaller spaces to create a structure to give people shade, because I can't build it because the code won't allow it. But umbrellas, there's no code on. And so when you have you said it goes to 14 or 13, the biggest one.
13. Yeah.
13. I mean, 13. At 13, that's a big size shade area. And the fact that I can rotate it and make it usable in multiple spaces, it really helps in small yard, create space that's, very functional. Plus it looks cool too. So anyway,
Yeah.
like that's
Absolutely. And all of our umbrellas are made out of that marine grade fabric, but they're all commercial grade. So there's that peace of mind that you'll know that it's going to last a long time. It's not like the umbrellas you buy at like the big box store.
Right. There's also some products that I don't think a lot of people are aware of. Like you have a cabinet, that you can do. I was trying to find it in the catalog. I couldn't even find it flipping through. But do you have a lot of
120-page catalog?
Do you have a lot of storage pieces of equipment that you manufacture as well, or is it just a few? I mean, I know there's a few, but what different things do you have with that? Because I have people.
There's a few storage. I would say the most popular is the credenza, which has the TV mount and the little wireless charging pad. But it also has a place for you to put like your towels and just anything and everything that you need to keep stored away. But we also have a storage coffee table, which has 3 different compartments, which are all removable. But I think people don't realize, I think the biggest storage option that we have that ironically is probably the most popular thing that we sell in commercial properties is trash cans.
Interesting. I didn't know you had made those either. So
yeah, we have a full line of trash cans, from like a 25-gallon trash can to a 65-gallon trash can receptacle in different shapes, obviously different colors. You have the ability to engrave and add customization to it. But Yeah, trash cans are probably the biggest thing that people don't realize that we have. And as you can imagine, everybody's got trash and they need a place to store it.
Sure.
Yeah.
So you have all these different things as a homeowner, not knowing what to put where. Do you have a service that the designer could send a plan over to, and do you have a designer on staff that can help them facilitate, what furniture they may want to look at based on different styles, different fabrics, and, help with the layout? Because I know you do have some things that are in the 3D modeling that a lot of the designers use. But do you have someone that can assist someone that doesn't know a whole lot about furniture and help the homeowner through this process?
Absolutely. So we offer design services where we do essentially what you just described, where we'll work with designers or we'll work with homeowners directly and help reiterate their backyard space and utilizing pool studio or structure studios. And we'll mimic everything in their backyard and add all of the furnishings and really kind of take that off their plate. We have a couple in-house designers who uh, will help kind of cultivate and design the space and create functional areas, but where they're all kind of being an extension of the interior space. A lot of what you were discussing earlier, and really kind of making the backyard kind of an additional living area, where they'll help create and design aesthetics, helping them pick fabrics and resin colors, as well as being able to help them visualize what it will look like in 3D, emulating their pool to their home, and then just adding all of the things to make it really a home. Like, I feel like every space has to have a place to sit and a place for you to live, and really be able to bring that functionality to those beautiful poolscapes. So it's a pretty quick turnaround time. It really, literally, is only a couple days. Our designers will work directly with our homeowners and help them design that space. We could do like more hands off or completely hands on, where we work directly with them. And obviously, like, every backyard and every homeowner has a different lifestyle. So they want to hear about that and really kind of understand what their day-to-day use is going to be and what the color schemes are. And a lot of times they'll try to ask for pictures of their inside space so that they can try to mirror that to the exterior.
It's an awesome service.
It is.
Yeah. Pretty simple process. Mm-hmm.
So if their project was done, they finished up a year or two later, but now they've got the furniture. And so now that they're trying to figure everything out, is it, like the days, a couple years ago, you'd order a couch for inside a house and you'd get it 12 months later. So people were complaining about swimming pools, and I'm like, well, I can beat the couch performance. Anyway, I know things aren't quite as bad as that, but what's a typical, if someone went through a service, are there things that take weeks, months? Does anything take as long as a couch, a year? Anyway, what's the timing?
Nothing takes a year, but it is custom. So it's not like overnight. We are looking at about 4 to 5 weeks typically. There are a lot of pieces that we do stock. Some of our most popular colors are in pool furniture. Like a lot of the games and Adirondacks are pretty quick turnaround time. It's more of like the custom furniture and cushions, because as you came to our office and facility, you got to see like everything being made to order. So it does, I would say 4 to 5 weeks is kind of the max.
That's
And
awesome.
then we also offer like a white glove service. So for those customers who really just need somebody just to handle it and install it and do everything, We also we like to pride ourselves, and most of our furniture is fully assembled, so you're not having to tinker with trying to put things together. So this way, it's just really just plug and play. They take it out of the box and set it and forget it and enjoy it.
This isn't an IKEA thing, so we're not having we don't have 50 pieces that show up in a piece of furniture, right? So I was amazed when the box got delivered. Can't remember what was in it. I think it was the tall Adirondack chairs, and I don't know what they call those. Maybe they're called tall Adirondack chairs.
It's tall Adirondack chairs.
And, it's like a, movie director chair. You sit up there, or you feel like you're, the lifeguard. But, it came just basically in a big box and pulled it out and it's ready to sit in. So it was great. So anyway.
Yeah.
What are some things that we should be asking you, but we haven't thought of?
I think I'm going to go back to autograph because it honestly is my favorite piece.
Gotcha.
I know we did talk a little bit about it, but I didn't get to tell you kind of a really good call out. Our autograph chase, we actually won a very prestigious design award for, called the Good Design. And I'm sure you've sat in our signature chase before,
Yes.
and hopefully you've sat in our autograph, but we took a lot of the feedback from the signature chase and into the autograph, and down to the surface of it being completely smooth, but really how it hugs your body in all the right places, but gives you that high design look. So aesthetically, it's just jaw dropping. It's almost like a sculptural piece of art for your pool space. And it's funny because when they were trying to toy with naming for this new piece that we came up with, as you know, everybody has a signature, so get it, but not everybody has an autograph. So we really wanted this to be something special.
As you mentioned, there were several things that I was always with the signature. It's well, there's this little thing that just bugs me a little bit. And you fixed all those things with the autograph. I mean, every little thing. And I'm personally, because probably I've had 2 hip replacements, I'm not the one that likes to get, the autograph sits higher, so it's much more comfortable for me to get in and out of versus a signature chair, which, you're down in the water, basically, basically sitting on the ledge, just you're in a chair. So, anyway, so I really, really like that piece of furniture as well. So anyway, we have,
I think too, the autograph chair, I don't know if you realize it, but even at 12 inches of water, if you put that piece in a deeper ledge, you would still not be sitting in water. So for those moms with young kids kids want to swim in the morning, but mom is I don't really want to be swimming right now, but I need to be close to the pool. This allows those to sit in the pool and physically be wet or in the pool. I personally love the autograph chair the most for the lines of it. Yes. You brought it up before, but aesthetically it's stunning. I actually keep them on my front porch with a little table just because they're just beautiful. They're a beautiful piece.
So,
and I can keep them outside knowing that nothing's going to happen to them.
Yeah, they hold up very, very well. We've got one right outside the office on the patio, which I enjoy quite often sitting in. So it's a great place to take a phone call. We didn't mention one thing, which I think is a very, I had some clients that they were this is the coolest thing that we found that we didn't realize that it was available was actually the side table that served as an ice bin. That was, I've had several clients that are like, that's the coolest thing in the world, the setup for that. So anyway, that's something we didn't mention earlier. But there's a whole lot of things that we probably haven't mentioned that, well, not a lot, but a few. We didn't talk about your favorite game either.
Oh, the
Ping pong.
No, that's the second favorite game, I guess.
Yeah,
The
what's it
cornhole.
called? Yeah, cornhole. Yes, that's one of my favorite of y'all's games. So it's really nice.
Yeah, we have that by the office too.
Oh
So
yeah.
now and then I get lucky and do well.
I don't know if you noticed, but the cornhole in all of our games, we have the ability to engrave. So oftentimes, like homeowners, or we have them, they can put their monogram and engrave it right onto the top of the cornhole board,
So I could
without impeding the play.
That's cool.
I could do a red one and put "Go Texas Tech" on it. Huh?
Yeah. There you go. Guns up.
Yeah.
I don't think we mentioned you could put your name on the pillows as well. I used to work in service, and the person that ordered it from y'all actually messed up the customer's name, and y'all fixed it.
Oh gosh.
Y'all did an amazing service and everything, getting us new ones, but that was a funny time. I was wondering, and I think you kind of mentioned it a little bit. Do you ever have customers that are actually going to buy your stuff for inside of the home or inside a building or something like that? Because I know most of this is for like outside because it's rated for outside, but I'm sure because it's so sleek and nice that you have some customers that actually just put it inside some places.
Yeah, we have lots of people that will do that. I mean,
Sorry to cut you off. What kind of items?
Y'all know a gentleman by the what kind of items?
Yeah.
Like, I think any of the Adirondack.
Okay. Yeah, I could see that.
Not the Adirondack. Yeah,
The
or
chairs.
the autograph chair. Yeah. Believe it or not, do y'all know Tanner Ross?
Oh yeah.
Okay. So back in the day, like, gosh, it had to have been 10 years ago, we were working with Tanner on a project, and he was like, I want to get one of these chases for my living room. And I was like, what? But he was very into, like, he was just super modern, very into like clean straight lines, and just loved the aesthetic of the chase, and was insistent on putting it in his living room. So I was like, okay.
Yeah.
That was new to me, but
yes, Tanner won the $1 Million Pool Challenge twice.
Oh wow.
He's the only one that's done that. So very good designer. He's now in Vegas.
Yep.
He was in Houston for a while. So is that where he is?
Now he's working with Sunset with Adam and Sonia, and now he's running his dad's company.
Yeah.
Poolscapes.
I can't remember the name of it in Vegas, but yes, shout out to Tanner Ross. He's a very good designer.
Yeah.
Very, very good. So
He is.
okay. Well, other things you can think of, we didn't give their just due, but one of the things
I feel like we covered a lot.
we covered a lot. So there is going to be people that are going to have questions. So we're going to include your contact information on the podcast. But if someone wanted to reach out in regards to design services, is there another email that you can send me so I can put that there as well?
Yeah, we have a form. We like to get a little bit of information so we can start that process. But yeah, absolutely. We can send that to you. I'd also say, like, anybody in the Houston area, we have a phenomenal showroom, 25,000 square feet. And then, of course, we have a dealer locator for all of our partners. You can kind of see some of the products in their showrooms as well.
So Poolside Perspective Podcast is a big fan. And if you've looked at our logo, there are 3-year chairs in our logo.
How about that?
So
I know.
Anyway, and as I said in the beginning, I really emphatically believe y'all have helped change the pool industry to what it is currently, which is people people love to be outside and they love to relax and they love to be with their friends and family. And you guys have provided a wealth of opportunities to do that, both in and out of the water. So thank you. Thanks, Chris. Thank your company. You guys have an awesome team of people too, because I've worked with a lot of them over the years. So anyway, but thanks for coming on today.
Thank you.
And
thank you for having me.
We'll look forward to talking with you some more. And if we don't see you before then, we'll see you in November, I guess, at the international show.
Absolutely. We'll be there. You know it. With bells on.
Yeah, y'all have to go to a lot of shows, right? You go to, apartment shows and pool shows and all kinds of different things. I guess you go to cruise line shows and everything as well, huh?
Yeah, so commercial, like high design, interior design. We do, of course, all the pool shows. HD, which is a big show in Vegas for hospitality design. And then, of course, like the patio furniture shows. There's so many shows. I think we do maybe 20.
Oh, wow.
20 some odd shows a year. Yeah.
No doubt. Well, we ran into you in Atlanta.
Yeah.
At the covering show, which was great.
I know. That was fun.
Yeah.
It was fun.
Well, good luck in getting all settled in your new home. And thank you so much for coming on with us today. I greatly appreciate it and appreciate all the help you provide everybody all the time. So thanks, Alexis.
Absolutely. Thank you, Mike. Thank you, Trey. Okay. Till next time.
Yes. Take care.
Have a good one.
Stay cool.
So that was a great conversation. I think just to recap, we should go over a couple of things that maybe surprise us a little bit. For me, knowing about the recycled plastics, knowing that now that I know that it deteriorates a little bit quicker, it can actually splinter with a power washer. It could be, have mold in it. It just makes sense with the virgin resin, just longevity wise being so much better. And then on top of that, it's just so sleek. But what surprised you?
It makes it stronger too.
Yeah, it makes it stronger.
Which one of the things, and as you mentioned, their designs are so clean.
Mm-hmm.
Versus a lot of furniture has all kinds of screws in it and all kinds of different things. And as you look at theirs, even when they do use the screws, they're hidden and you can't really see it. And a lot of the things you don't really notice, like the place to put the paddles for the ping pong table, everything's got a place.
Yeah.
And they're very, very cleanly designed. But the one thing I thought was really cool was that their initial molds were all built out of wood, that Chris's dad did them. That's one part of the story I've never heard before, which I thought was really crazy. And that they had, like 7 different models of the first chair that everybody was sitting in.
Yeah.
To try to, okay, let's adjust this a little bit and let's adjust this because, you want to get the mold right.
It's all about the details.
Yeah, I get that. So, I think it was really interesting that they have a whole line of trash cans. I didn't know about that either.
Yeah, that blew me away. I was like, what? Trash cans? What are we talking about now?
So the engraving too is a nice feature that I don't think a lot of people are aware of that you can do. And like you said, then you can put names on the pillows and stuff like that. That's really cool.
And all this stuff can, be removed from the water. Obviously, it's easy to move because you get the water out of it. So when you engrave this stuff, you personalize it. It's your family, his last name or whatever you do. And it's not something that's going to stay at the house. If you sell the house, you can take that with you. So even these personalized items you can keep.
Yeah. One of the things I forgot to ask, so we'll have to see what comes. So they've got a new fire pit.
Yeah. Yeah. We forgot to ask about that.
So I guess we'll just have to wait and see. I'm sure they'll have it in November.
Yeah.
Yeah. I wanted to get the lowdown on it, what it was going to be like. Is it in the water?
Wait.
Is it on the ledge? Is it in the yard?
I think we did see it at the last show. I thought they had a portable fire pit. It was really sleek. It reflected. I might be remembering wrong, but maybe not. I don't know. We'll see what it is.
We'll see what it is.
Yeah.
Well, once again, lots of awesome information.
Yeah.
Really, really appreciate all the time Alexis gave us. So, people have questions, please send them in to social media as well as to the website. The website also is a place because some people are like, where do I get the episodes? Where can I download the episodes? Now, you can go on any podcast platform, but you can also go to the website and the episodes are available there and you can download them as well. So hopefully if there's good information, you can pass it on to your friends. If you got somebody that's building a new pool and is worried about safety, we spent the whole month of May talking about all kinds of safety situations. So lots of information, and we've got a lot of good things that are coming up in the end of the month and into July. So we'll look forward to talking some more. We'll have to find out about your trip to Cabo.
Yeah, I'm excited. And I think everything from this conversation that I learned, I just realized that ledge is it just reminds me of Apple in a way because it's sleek, it's functional, it's high quality, longevity. So shout out to them. Shout out to Chris, the founder, and Alexa for coming on the show. But yeah, it was awesome.
Yeah.
So,
well, we'll see y'all later.
bye.
So tell us about this pizza oven.
Okay, so this is Fire Magic. When you hear Fire Magic, see Fire Magic, you're looking at the oldest grill company in the United States. We're looking at 80 plus years they've been in the business. They are an industry leader in a lot of different things. We love selling the product here. City of Industry, again, great American-made product. They're very innovative. And very forward on what they bring out as far as qualities of what they sell. So going to the oven itself, this is not only a pizza oven, but it is an outdoor oven. Dimensional, meaning that the thermostat's built in, it's automated. So whereas Alpha, you have a high and low, this has a thermostat. So if I wanted to bake cookies for the kids and have ice cream out there, I can bake cookies in here. It's a full oven. This oven does get up to the high spectrum though. It gets very, very hot. There's a rack in there to plate cookies. I can take the rack out and do a full stone pizza. It's ease of use, gas driven, for the person that does not have to want to tend to wood is what it is.
Gotcha.
This one is a built-in.
This one is a built-in. They make a cart model. This is the most popular for built-in. It has their key mark lock-in tooth handle. The rack can be taken out, interior lighting, so you can see what's actually going on. One thing that they've known really well, as we've known as designers and then salespeople, is that we can't really predict what Mother Nature brings us as far as the wind. Well, this company has done that. They've got an actual, their canopy top in there. If I had a back wind blowing in behind this oven, I can tilt this block in here and keep this from pushing heat back into the unit itself. If I've got a particular front that's coming in that can affect the way this unit cooks, I can come all the way down the front with this. So
Sweet.
Something that Fire Magic has always done. They provided wind breaks, but afterthought. Hey, if regardless of where I live, if I'm in the hills and West Coast, or if I'm in the hill country here, or we've got a front coming in here this next week, and if I'm baking pieces, this could really determine the outcome. And this little add-on engineering piece is something that Fire Magic adds, but their engineering team has a lot of forethought on how they build products. So backlit bezels to let you know where you're at night. You can see at night here. And then this is their Echelon series. It's got all polished appointments on here. If you know Fire Magic, you know. So.
And then it has a storage unit down below it as well.
Yes, that's a matching storage unit with the pizza oven that you see there. They have the big robust handles. We see a lot of these with. This is the most common drawer that we see mixed in with a lot of other companies that we sell. It has a water ledge here that keeps, drawers. We want to tell customers drawers are not sealed. The only sealed drawer is a warming drawer that has a seal on it because it has an electric element. But all of our drawers are not sealed. They're never sealed. But
How huge is the water?
it is.
Seeks path at least
It
for
is.
distance.
It is. So this is a deterrent for water. This is a water, a moisture fan. When the water hits this, it gets diverted. You'll also see that front panel plenum is really thick. And why is that? Because when I shut this drawer, it will recess and soft close, and it's less apt for moisture to get inside of the containment drawer.
Very nice.